Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Make sure you hit the like button right now, subscribe if you haven't yet, and tap that notification bell so you don't miss any updates. Today's topic is serious. We are talking about the recent reports of an alleged coup plot to overthrow Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government in Nigeria. You'll want to stay with me as we break down what we know, what is claimed, and what's still unclear, and yes, I'll add some thoughts on why this matters for all of us. So let's dive in. According to multiple sources, the country's security and military establishment are dealing with what looks to be a major shockwave. Reports say that at least 16 senior military officers, ranging from the rank of captain to brigadier general, have been arrested over allegations they were part of a plot to topple President Tinubu's administration. These arrests reportedly stem from intelligence operations by the Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, and other security agencies. They say there were secret meetings, coordination, and a plan to install a military government instead of the current civilian government. One of the more dramatic claims, some sources say that the coup plotters had chosen a date, possibly around the 1st of October, Nigeria's Independence Day, to carry out their plan, and that the cancellation of large-scale Independence Day activities may be tied to this threat. Now, and this is very important, the official statements from the military and presidency have given a different explanation. The Defense Headquarters, DHQ, says that the detained officers are being held for indiscipline, failure in promotion examinations, and career stagnation, not for plotting a coup. In fact, the DHQ has dismissed as false and malicious the version that there was a planned coup. So we have two narratives, one from media and unnamed sources claiming a coup plot, and one from officialdom downplaying it as internal military discipline matters. As responsible citizens and watchers of the news, we must ask, which one is closer to the truth? And what are the implications? Let's unpack why this matters. Stability of Nigeria's democracy. If indeed senior military officers were planning to overthrow the civilian government, this would point to a deeply worrying fragility in our democratic system. Nigeria has worked hard to stay a democracy, and a coup attempt, or even credible talk of one, undermines that progress. On the flip side, if the coup claims are inflated or used for political purposes, then that also shows erosion of trust between the people, the military, and the government. Military morale and internal grievances. The official narrative emphasizes a career stagnation and failure in promotions by these officers. If that is the genuine part of the story, then it signals serious internal discontent within the armed forces. These are not small issues. When senior officers feel sidelined or frustrated, it can create openings for destabilization. Even if they were not plotting a coup, the existence of such grievances is a red flag for the security architecture of the country. Information and public trust. The way this story has broken, leaks, social media chatter, unnamed sources, shows the power of rumors. The fact that official statements contradict the leaks means that ordinary citizens might not know what to believe. Transparency becomes key. When trust in institutions is low, the public becomes susceptible to disinformation, panic, and speculation. That leads to uncertainty, which is dangerous in its own right. Political implications. For the Tinubu administration, these allegations, if true, would be an existential threat. They would also provide enormous ammunition to his critics. For the opposition, even the suggestion of a coup matters. It also raises questions. Are there factions within the military aligned with political interests? Are external actors involved? Are these genuine plots or exaggerated threats? We don't yet have full answers. Let's look at what we don't know. These are the gray areas. We don't have an official list of the officers involved, the exact dates of arrest, or the full scale of the alleged plan. The media reports mention 16 officers, but the military hasn't confirmed exactly. We don't know definitively what the alleged plotters intended to do, the target, the method, the timeline. The claim about the October 1st event is from sources, not yet confirmed by official records. We don't know if any external groups, political, business, foreign, were backing or directing the alleged plot. We don't know how the investigations will proceed, what charges will be brought, what evidence will be shared with the public, and what the legal consequences will be. In short, there is smoke. Whether there is fire remains less certain for the public at this moment. Now, some practical takeaways and reflections for all of us. For you watching this, stay informed, but also stay calm. Don't jump to conclusions based on social media alone. Wait for verified updates from credible institutions. Watch for how the government handles this, if there is transparency, credible investigations, rule of law applied. If there is a heavy state-sealed silence, that could be worrying. Consider the bigger picture. Institutions matter. A strong democracy requires strong, independent institutions, military obeying civilian oversight, justice system acting impartially. When any of that weakens, the entire system is at risk. Let's think about how this affects everyday Nigerians. Security instability scares investors, unsettles markets, disrupts peace. If plot talk leads to overreaction, it may hurt citizens rather than help. We need prudence. To bring this home, either way, whether this was a genuine coup attempt, or a serious internal military crisis, or both, the story is a wake-up call. It tells us that we cannot take our democratic stability for granted. It tells the government, you must show leadership, accountability, transparency. It tells citizens, we must remain vigilant, demand answers, and hold institutions to account. So I leave you with this, keep an eye on how this unfolds. Ask questions. What evidence will be made public? What will happen to those detained? How will the government address the underlying issues in the military? How will the opposition respond? How will ordinary citizens be protected from the fallout? If you found this breakdown helpful, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe for more updates, and share this video so others can stay informed too. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you believe the coup plot claims? Do you think it's mostly internal military unrest? Or do you see something else at play? I read each comment and we'll discuss. You see, every time talks of a coup come up in Nigeria, it brings back painful memories. Our country has a long history of military interventions. From 1966 all the way to 1999, we lived through repeated takeovers, with soldiers ruling at different times. That's why this story is not just another rumor, it touches something deep in our national history. Nigerians know what it feels like when democracy is interrupted. So even if it's just an allegation, it's enough to make people uneasy. Now, what's important here is that the defense headquarters has come out strongly, saying there's no coup and that the military remains loyal to President Tinubu and to the constitution. They call the reports false, malicious, and designed to create panic. According to their spokesperson, Brigadier General Tukaguso, the Nigerian armed forces will not tolerate any form of mutiny or political manipulation within the ranks. That statement is meant to calm the public, but at the same time, it raises a question. Why would such a strong denial be needed if there wasn't something serious happening behind the scenes? Sometimes in politics and security, where there's smoke, there's fire. It doesn't always mean the fire is as big as people say, but it means something caused the smoke. Now, I want us to think about something, the timing of these reports. They came just after Nigeria celebrated Independence Day, a period when the nation is reflecting on its unity, leadership, and progress. Coincidentally, there's been a lot of public frustration lately. Inflation is high, food prices are up, and people are feeling the pinch of hardship. When there's so much tension in the country, it's easy for rumors like this to spread fast. And that's dangerous, because such talk can divide people or cause panic in the economy. So while we're discussing this story, let's be careful not to allow fear to control us. Instead, we should use it as an opportunity to ask our leaders, what are you doing to make life better for ordinary Nigerians? Because when citizens are struggling, the environment becomes fragile. Let's also talk about the role of the media in all this. Some media outlets reported the story with sensational headlines, which can draw attention but also cause anxiety. Responsible journalism is about balance, giving facts, not just fear. That's what we're doing here, breaking things down calmly and helping you understand what's going on without bias. Another interesting part is how the public has reacted online. On social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok, Nigerians are divided. Some believe the report and say it's a sign that there's trouble in the government. Others think it's all propaganda to distract people from real issues like the economy, insecurity, and rising living costs. And honestly, both sides raise fair points. Because in Nigeria's political space, truth and spin often move together. Sometimes, what's called a coup plot could be internal power struggles being blown out of proportion. Other times, genuine threats are downplayed to prevent fear. That's why we must watch how this investigation develops. Will the government be transparent? Will they show evidence or quietly release those arrested after some weeks? Time will tell. Now, let's touch on something related: public trust in leadership. When citizens stop believing that their leaders are working in their interest, even small rumors can explode. And that's one of the challenges we face today. A lot of Nigerians feel disconnected from what's happening at the top. They see the rising prices, insecurity, and unemployment, and they ask, what is really changing? That frustration, if not handled properly, can create a dangerous environment for instability. So, for the government, this is a reminder: communication is important. People need to hear from leaders, clearly, regularly, and honestly. Silence or vague denials only fuel more suspicion. Let's also give credit where it's due. Nigeria's democracy, despite all challenges, has survived for over 2 decades now. That's something we shouldn't take for granted. But it also means our leaders must do more to strengthen our institutions, especially the military, police, and judiciary, so that loyalty to the constitution is never in doubt. Now, some political analysts have said this whole issue could be linked to internal competition for power, maybe within the ruling party, or even among security agencies. You know how politics in Nigeria can sometimes mix with security matters. So it's possible that this coup plot story has layers we haven't fully seen yet. Whatever the case, it's clear that this situation has drawn attention from Nigerians everywhere, both at home and in the diaspora. People are watching closely to see if this was just a false alarm or something deeper. As we continue to follow this, I keep giving you verified updates. But remember, let's not allow fear or panic to rule our thoughts. Let's stay focused on facts. And please, once again, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, so you won't miss the next update on this developing story. Now, before we round up, I want to say this: every time Nigeria faces moments like this, it reminds us that peace and democracy are fragile things. They depend on both the leaders and the people. The leaders must govern with fairness and vision, the people must remain vigilant and united. Let's stand for a Nigeria where disputes are settled through dialogue, not force. Where the military stays professional and the people's voices are respected. So tell me in the comment section, what do you think about this alleged coup story? Do you think it's true, or just political drama? And how do you think the government should handle it going forward? I'll be reading your comments and sharing some of your thoughts in my next video, so don't forget to drop them below. And once again, if you enjoyed this gist and want more real-time updates from Nigeria and beyond, click like, subscribe, and share this video so others can stay informed too. We'll stop here for now, but trust me, there's more to this story, and I'll be back with another detailed breakdown as new facts emerge.